He thought it might do him some good to spend some time with Devon and West Ravenel, whom he'd known for at least a decade. The three of them, along with the rest of their disreputable crowd, had often caroused and brawled their way across London. But things had changed. 2 years ago, Devon had unexpectedly inherited an earldom and had assumed the role of responsible family patriarch. And West, the formerly carefree drunkard, now managed the estate and tenants, and talked incessantly about the weather. The weather, for God's sake! The Ravenel brothers, formerly so entertaining, had become as tedious as everyone else. Entering an empty music room, Tom found a large, upholstered chair occupying a shadowy nook. After turning the chair to face away from the door, he sat and closed his eyes. The room was as silent as a sepulchre, except for the delicate ticking of a clock somewhere. An unfamiliar weariness settled over him as gently as mist, and he let out a sigh. People had always joked about his vitality and his fast-paced life, and how no one could keep up with him. Now it seemed he couldn't keep up with himself. He needed to do something to jolt himself out of this spell. Maybe he should marry. At the age of 31, it was high time to take a wife and sire children. There were dozens of eligible young women here, all blue-blooded and well-bred. Marrying one of them would help to advance him socially. He considered the Ravenel sisters. The oldest, Helen, had married Rhys Winterbourne, and Lady Pandora had married Lord St. Vincent this morning. But there was one sister left, Pandora's twin, Cassandra. Tom had yet to meet her, but he'd caught a glimpse of her at dinner last night, through multiple bowers of greenery and forests of silver candelabra. From what he'd been able to tell, she was young, blonde, and quiet, which wasn't necessarily all he wanted in a wife, but it was a good start. The sound of someone entering the room broke through his thoughts. Damn! Of the dozens of unoccupied rooms on this floor of the house, it would have to be this one. Tom was about to stand and make his presence known when the sounds of a female sob caused him to shrink deeper into the chair. Oh, no. A crying woman. "I'm sorry," the unfamiliar feminine voice quavered. "I don't know why I'm so emotional." For a moment, Tom thought she might have been talking to him, but then a man replied. "I imagine it's not easy to be separated from a sister who's always been your closest companion, a twin, no less." The speaker was West Ravenel, his tone far warmer and more tender than any Tom had ever heard him use before. "It's only because I know I'll miss her. But I'm happy she's found true love, so very happy." Her voice broke. "So I see," West said dryly. "Here, take this handkerchief and let's wipe away those tears of joy." "Thank you." "It would hardly be unnatural," West commented kindly, "for you to feel a touch of jealousy. It's no secret that you wanted to find a match, whereas Pandora has always been determined never to marry at all." "I'm not jealous, I'm worried." The woman blew her nose with a soft little snort. "I've gone to all the dinners and dances, and I've met everyone. Some of the eligible gentlemen have been very pleasant, but even when there's nothing terribly wrong with one of them, there's nothing terribly right either. I've given up looking for love. I'm only searching for someone I could come to love over time, and I can't even find that. There's something wrong with me. I'm going to end up an old maid." "There's no such thing as an old maid." "What would you call a middle-aged lady who's never married?" "A woman with standards," West suggested. "You might call it that, but everyone else says old maid." A glum pause. "Also, I'm too plump. All my dresses are tight." "You look the same as always." "My dress had to be altered last night. It wouldn't button up the back." Twisting stealthily in the chair, Tom peeked around the edge. His breath caught as he stared at her in wonder. For the first time in his life, Tom Severin was smitten. Smitten and slain. She was beautiful, the way fire and sunlight were beautiful, warm and glowing and golden. The sight of her dealt him a famished, hollow feeling. She was everything he'd